Morning legends, it was Rosie's birthday the other day, hence a unicorn balloon that Bobby picked. I put up a poll on YouTube the other day. I did a little community poll, I haven't done one of those before, completely forgot it existed to be honest. Asking what you guys wanted to see more, whether you wanted the educational videos, whether you wanted vlogs, and the general vote was for vlogs. I'm still going to put educational videos up as well. I've got another one going up very soon, all about caffeine and what it does to your brain. Anyway, today is a very different day. I busted my toe again because my toes are like twiglets, they're pointless. My middle toes are so damn long and weak. Even though I take them to the other toe, they keep getting busted in jiu-jitsu. So today we're gonna go in and we're gonna do some active recovery, and I'm gonna tell you why low intensity, steady state cardio is gonna be amazing for you, for your fitness, for every walk of life, but especially if you do CrossFit. Let's go. All right, welcome to the garage. I actually did this all by myself. I had a neon light up there, which cost a fortune and is down there and was shit. And it just broke, so I brought a projector in here and just traced around this and then covered it in. Got a little Vegeta with a barbell, a little bit of jiu-jitsu, a Rich thrown in because me and you looks great, and a Wonder Woman because I need some female representation in there. Alright, low intensity steady state is the goal for today. 30 to 40 minutes. I've got to pick Bobby up from nursery in about an hour's time to take us to gymnastics. Again, today's idea and why I think it's a great idea to do low intensity steady state, and I'm going to make this specific to CrossFit first because a lot of our audience do CrossFit. In a CrossFit class, most of our metcons are 10 to 20 minutes. So in a different energy system and our heart rate stays very high. Then if we do a chipper or we do something that may be 40 minutes long, it's still a high heart rate because it's extremely hard to keep your heart rate low if you're lifting a barbell or if you're in a competitive environment, which is one of the great things about CrossFit, but it's also one of the downsides if you just want low intensity. And I don't think it's always ideal to just blast yourself in every session. It takes a lot from the immune system and it just takes a lot out of the body. So every so often it's actually great to do a low steady state run. You can do that outside. I'm going to use the assault bike and the skier and just kind of probably do 2 minutes on each machine. Just do 2 minute swaps, 2 minutes for 40 minutes, just for a bit of variety. It's going to be great with lowering your resting heart rate, but for me, one of the main things of it is it's going to be incredible for general fitness. It's going to cross over to everything, but also recovery. You've got all that blood flow flowing around the body, getting the warmth in the body, and you know, if you get an injury in places that have less blood flow, just doing some steady cardio can be a really great way to increase that blood flow to those areas. I've also got one of the new polar bands. Check this out. It says, do it with heart. I like the red color one. It's got like a heartbeat on there. I don't care what watch you've got. I've got a Polar Grit X watch, which does far more than I need it to do. But no watch, don't care if you've got Whoop, whatever you got is as good as a chest strap. It's just not. There's no two ways about it. In fact, one of my best friends, first time I call him one of my best friends, he'll like to hear that. One of my very good friends, Sam, who I do jiu-jitsu with, who's incredible physio and everything else that he does. He's actually a dissertation in his, what do you call it when you go to uni? Your thesis, your final bit of work was actually on the efficiency of wrist straps for checking your heart rate, and they're just not as good as Polar ones. I'm gonna pop this on. I can connect it to my watch on my phone. I'm just gonna connect it to my phone. Gonna do 50 to 60% of my max heart rate. 5 or a 6 out of 10 for those of you who don't know what that is or don't have a watch that's gonna tell you. For me, it's probably gonna be about 55 RPM on the bike and about 900 cals an hour on the ski. Let's go. Numbers are pretty close, 40 minutes, and I spent what did it say? About 33 minutes in zone 2 and 3. There was a little, like 5 or so minutes off, because I hopped off at the end to get a few shots. Normally I do that after, but like I said, I've got 10 minutes to get showered and go pick Bobby up from nursery, take her to gymnastics and grab a coffee, then I'll come back and meet you guys then. Dadmin guys, I'll be catching you in a minute. Delivery time! I'm back from taking Bobby to nursery. Mondays are my least busiest day, online coaching wise, because everyone's already programmed and most people are just getting, just kind of getting set up for the week. As the week goes on, it gets a lot busier, with Friday by far being the busiest with check-ins and stuff like that. Actually, shout out to one of my clients, Pia, who just did the London Marathon, her first ever marathon yesterday. You're a legend, well done. Anyway, delivery just come in from our sponsors, Optimum Nutrition. Creatine, back on the creatine since finishing the bodybuilding, since finishing the jiu-jitsu competition because I was worried about weight, so I did everything. So I didn't take creatine to have less water stored in my muscles, although it's a great thing to have. Weight is important when it comes to the competition. And I'm happy to know, I was gonna say you'd be happy to know, but to be honest, you probably don't give a shit. But I'm happy to know that my goal was to not just put on all the weight that I'd lost again. And I haven't. In fact, I've kind of put on a small amount, but a lot of that's gonna be glycogen and stuff. So I've still stayed relatively lean, which I'm very happy about. And I actually have another jiu-jitsu comp this weekend, slightly different one. And I could, if I wanted to, still weigh in at the weight that I did the previous comp at, which is pretty cool. So I've got some creatine come through, I've got 2 of them. This stuff I'm loving, which is the trainer sustains, like BCAAs, electrolytes, immune support. Awesome if you are sweating a lot. This helps me a lot with getting cramp at jiu-jitsu, especially when I was not eating very much at all. Another shaker bottle, another creatine, and 2 tubs of whey. One thing I love to do with this to help me hit my protein intake is I get like total Greek yogurt. I love that stuff. Obviously good for gut bacteria and stuff like that and just tastes good. Is I stick a scoop of whey into it. Sometimes I put oats in it if I want some carbs, and I'll have it for breakfast with oats if I want a bigger meal, and just a snack at night. I just have that, and sometimes I prefer that to having a protein shake. It's just a more enjoyable way and palatable way for me to have whey protein, because I want to feel like I'm eating, to be honest. And although protein shakes as a shake is really efficient and helpful, when it's nighttime and I want something like a dessert, that's a really great thing to do. And something I actually listened to the other day is a lot of people, and it just kind of rung true. And this is the way my relationship with food is. My food choices are made out of intent more so than gratification. A lot of people just make their food choices out of, oh, that will make me feel good, or that will make me, that'll give me a good feeling, or the endorphins, or whatever, dopamine, whatever it is. And that's why a lot of people they don't plan and they just pick food off a cuff. And that is not the way to have an optimal diet or to improve your body. Whereas 80% of my foods that I have are for a reason. I pick them either for health, or I pick them because I need to have protein in that meal, or I want carbs in that meal. And 20% are for enjoyment. I still pick them, and I still choose to have them, but I choose to have Domino's pizza because I want it. It helps me stay on my diet in the long run because I'm not being too restrictive, and I enjoy it. But I know that for 80% of the time I've been picking good foods and I've been staying within my calories. So it's absolutely fine for me to do that, rather than just being led by the feeling I get from eating Domino's. Because sure, I love it, and I do get a good feeling from eating Domino's, but I also get a really good feeling from eating veggies and good foods. Sure, a different one to Domino's, but it's like a tick. It's like, yeah, well done, you done that, you looked after yourself. Because once the hunger element has gone, it's a bit like having sex, if I'm being honest. It's all like, all hands on deck to start with until you finish, and then you have a bit of clarity. And the same thing really applies to food. You can be led by your hunger. You know, you're so hungry, you get home and you're cooking dinner, and while you're cooking it, you're eating snacks, and before you know it, you've done a whole pot of hummus and a whole bag of Doritos before your dinner's even done. But after that, if you would put that off, eat your dinner, you'd probably find out you didn't need to have them afterwards because you've kind of curbed that craving. Anyway, I've been doing a lot of bodybuilding lately, really enjoying it, and I've been following the TLM gym plan, which I program, and the guys and girls that are on it have been enjoying it as well. That's what we're going to go and do next. Feel good at the moment, and I thought, do you know what, I know this morning I just did active recovery because I didn't want to blast my foot, but we're going to do it. Okay, let's do this. I'm changing program just slightly. Don't have a pull-over or a pull-down machine here, so I'm going for the pull-ups. In this program, there's 3 sets of pull-up or 2 sets to failure later on. I'm just taking those pull-ups and those pull-down and putting them into my pull-ups. So I'm doing 5x5 pull-ups plus 2 sets of failure. So a lot of pull-ups, so it can take a lot of this session up. Then we've got bent over row, 2 sets of 6 to 8, working in that lower strength phase, 1 set of 10 to 12, so we're gonna reduce the weight, up the reps. Hammer curls, 4 sets of 10, and then barbell curl, 2 sets of 10 to 8, and then this is where it really gets tough, 2 sets of 40 seconds work. There'll be next to no weight on the bar, just repping out for 40 seconds, get a hideous pump. Last 2 times I did this, it was actually the pull-ups that gave me a massive pump. Let's see what happens. Wash my teeth up, wash my face. So the last 3 times I've done this, I think 3 times, I've done the 5x5 at 15, done 4 sets. My next weight that I have up is a 22.5. Be great to get 3 on that, but I'm just gonna try, you know, progressive overload, push it up a little bit. Probably would have been smarter just to try and get an extra rep on each one, but ego and all, let's see if I can get any on 22.5.
From the bacon, yum, yum, yum. Let's go. See the sun shining from the windows. Okay, I know that today'll be a good day. Okay, I know that today'll be a good day. A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, drink some.
Okay, the fun bit. How many can you get unbroken? 17 I did the first time, 16 the second time I did this, and then like 50 on the other 2 sets. Slightly heavier, went 22.5, already for the biceps. Shoot for the moon? What is it? Shoot for the moon, land in the stars? Oh, fuck it. Just try and get as many as I can.
I can't wait for the weekend. Keep jammies on like I'm a kid. Wake up, get up, stretch my legs, eat some breakfast, milk and eggs. Brush my teeth up, wash my face, don't mind.
16. Oh! One thing you might notice when you see me do bent over rows, I do almost exclusively supinated, so overhand grip, rowing to the sternum, opposed to underhand grip, slightly more biceps and rowing towards the belly button. Hits a little bit more of the upper back opposed to just predominantly hitting the lats. Because the lats insert on the front of your shoulders and they will help you internally rotate. And if you're someone whose posture's curling over, you might want to avoid that, especially if you're doing a lot of chest as well. So for me, I've had a shoulder that used to come out of socket, hasn't happened for a lot of years. But as a habit, I do a lot of upper back compared to chest. So for every chest exercise I do for the week, I do double upper back, especially traps and rhomboids. So exercises that are really going to pull the shoulder blades back and stop the shoulder moving into the front of its kind of dish, so I can get impingements and potentially have that shoulder rolling out. So exercises I almost exclusively don't do because of my shoulder are things like flies. You probably won't ever see me do a dumbbell fly for that reason. Not saying that's right for everyone, just previous injury for me.
Stretch my legs, eat some breakfast.
Sorry about the light, I know it's bad, but it's strip light up there. One of the reasons I really like this workout, apart from the progression and pull-ups and stuff like that, is I actually get a bicep pump, and biceps or arms in general are not a very kind of developed muscle group for me, and I really struggle to kind of get that pump. I mean, I can do like 21s and stuff, and it might get pumped while I've got the barbell, and as soon as I drop the barbell, it just kind of goes. I think a lot of it's from the pull-ups. I think pull-ups are just a great bicep exercise as well. I just get a really good pump from it on all the sets, especially in the 40-second work that comes a little bit later. So humbling when you've just got a bar and you can't even move it for any more reps. Woo, pump. Just got in the house, had some Greek yogurt, oats and whey protein, as I said before. And I just checked my phone and saw that Dana White's lost 30 pounds via the ketogenic diet because someone told him via his blood how long he had to live. So I'm gonna create a video on that right now, and if you're watching this one, that video's gone up, you can go and check it out. And it will be a little overview of what's going on with the ketogenic diet, is it valid for everyone, and all the shit you need to know basically.
Get up, stretch my legs.